Okay, good evening all. Am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we will start today that sampling techniques, and in which I will go only in brief and important points regarding all the sampling strategies because there is no time of derivation and all. Okay, so first of all, what is a sampling? Sampling is a method of drawing an inference about the characteristic of a population by observing only a part of population. So this sampling technique we use in our day-to-day life. For example, we whenever we go for the blood sample, so we give whole we will not give whole blood to the lab technician, but we will give only few drops of the blood on the basis of that few drops of blood or few ml blood, they will identify and they will study our whole body blood. Okay, so that sample is what it is, a part of population, and that should be representative sample. So this is a method of drawing inference about the characteristic of a population. Then second example is, suppose I want to purchase rice or some grains. So I will go in the market and I will take handful of the rice and I will check the quality of that rice. So what I am doing? I am doing sampling. So I am taking the sampling from a particular bag. So suppose this is a bag and I have taken few few that handful rice from that particular bag. So that is what I am doing. I am doing sampling. So in one another example is as in day to day life, to check the hotness of the milk, to check the heatness or hotness of the milk. So mother, what she do, she will drop some drops of milk on her palm, and she will check that is the blood is the that milk is too hot or not hot, likewise. So that is, this is the sampling day to day life example. Okay, so sample should be representative of the population. Sample should be representative of the population, should be representative of the population. So from that sample, suppose this is 1,000 units and I want to study this, I want to study the characteristic of the population. So I will take few sample from this 1,000 population. Suppose I have taken 20 sample. So capital N is my population size, small n is sample size. So I will take sample of 20, and on the basis of this 20 sample, I will study our characteristic of the population. So why it should be representative? For example, I am studying Delhi. I am studying suppose I have taken the this is Delhi population, and I have to study this living standard of the Delhi person. Okay, living standard of Delhi society means society living standard, and I have taken the sample from Gurgaon. I have taken the sample from Gurgaon. So this will not represent the characteristic of Delhi because Gurgaon is coming in the Haryana state. So that's why our sample should be representative. If I am studying Delhi, so I will take the sample from Delhi only. I will not go for the another population. So I have to take sample from that particular population, and also so sample should be representative of the population. Okay, so this is the basic fundamental of sampling. So just our motto is to draw the inference about the population characteristic. Okay, now we will go some important point. First of all, sampling distribution. Just like frequency distribution is there is one sampling distribution. So from, suppose this is population size and this is small n is sample size. So from this population n, out of this small n, if I going to collect the sample, so there will be NCN ways to collect the sample. Suppose capital N is equal to 5 and small n is equal to 2. So I am taking this NCN, there will be NCN ways, so 5C2 ways will be there to get the sample. How much will be this? 5C2, that 5 factorial, 2 factorial, 3 factorial. So this will be 5 into 4 into 3 factorial. This will cancel out. So 2, that will be 10. So this 10 sample will be there. How we will create this sample? Suppose my population units 5 are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are my population units. So now I have to make the pair of, means I have to make the sample size of 2. So I will make this 10 sample like 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5. If I consider, if this is for without replacement. I will tell you what is without replacement and what is with replacement. And 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 5. Likewise 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 5 to the power 2, 25. 4, 4, 4, 5. And last one is 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, and 5, 5. Okay, so this is my all possible sample, and this will be n to the power n, and this is in with replacement sampling. Okay, I will tell you later this with replacement, and you know very well it. So this, if I consider with replacement, then I will get n to the power n possible samples of size 2. Okay, I will get n to the power n of n to the power n all possible sample of size 2. So this will be 25 samples. Okay, now if I consider only without replacement condition, so there will be 10 samples. How? This is so here repetition is there. So first sample we will take the distinct sample. So this will be my distinct sample. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. See, this is my distinct sample, and this is what? Total number of total samples are 10. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, and 4, 5. So these are the distinct sample. So I will get this sample. Now the number of possible sample of size small n that can be drawn from a finite population of size capital N is NCN in case of without replacement. For each of these samples, so for each of these sample, now my samples are 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. Likewise, all 10 samples will be there, 4, 5. So from each sample, I can compute the statistic like some mean and variance. For this, the mean is 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 is 3 divided by 2, that is 1.5. 2, 2.5. Likewise, the variance will come some value. So which is the obviously vary from sample to sample. So this is varying from sample to sample. Now the aggregate of various values of statistics. So this aggregate, this is known as, and we have grouped into the frequency distribution. We have grouped all the sample and its mean and its variance in a frequency table. So this table is known as sampling distribution. This table is known as sampling distribution. Okay. So this table is known as sampling distribution. So what we are doing here, from our capital N we will select the sample of size n, and that in NC ways if we consider without replacement case. Now we will get distinct sample and we will collect the mean and variance of the particular sample. So they will vary from sample to sample. They will vary from sample, and this arrangement of the mean and variance in the particular samples will known as sampling distribution. Okay, got it? Any doubt in this? Is there any doubt in this?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Now we will just like we will see one by one the points, important points only. Now we will move to the standard error. So what is standard error? So we can say the standard deviation of sampling distribution of a statistic is known as its standard error. Okay, so there are various standard error. There is one table. Yeah, I can make here also statistic and its standard error. So this is important table regarding your exam. So if somebody asks that what is the standard error of sample mean, so that will be can anybody tell me what will be the
Sigma by root n.
Sigma by root n. So likewise there are different statistics and their particular standard error, just like observed sample proportion, that is P. So for this it is PQ by n. Like sample standard deviation, that is small s. For this it is sigma y under root 2n. So that it can be asked in the example directly. Like quartiles is also there, median is also there. You can see it in the book. There will be a table of this. And one important is this sample variance, small s square, and this is sigma square into 2yn. So likewise there are few others like quartile, median, sample correlation coefficient, mu3, mu4, and coefficient of variation. So you can see it in book. Okay, now just tell me what if we consider the magnitude of standard error, what it is represent? Magnitude of standard error, it represents index of precision of the estimate of the parameter. So sample mean is, we usually say that sample mean is unbiased estimator of the population mean. So if we want to check the precision of this, so we will use standard error, and the reciprocal of standard error it measures reliability or we can say precision of the estimate, precision of the sample, or we can sample estimates. So this reciprocal of standard error and magnitude of standard error is both is used for the precision of the estimate. Now usually in sampling there are two errors are there. So first error is sampling error, and second one is non-sampling error. What is sampling error? It is a difference, or we can say that sampling error presents in sampling techniques only, and it is the difference or discrepancy between our estimate and the parameter, or we can say our statistic and parameter. If I write in both terms same, that is statistic and parameter. So the difference between statistics or discrepancy or difference between this statistic and parameter is known as sampling error, because our sample estimate will not 100% represent the population. For example, suppose this is having 1000, capital N is 1000, okay, and its mean is coming, I can say mean is coming 12.5, and I have taken the sample of size n is equal to 20, and sample mean is coming 12.43 something. Okay, it is approximately similar, but the difference is there. Okay, because it will not 100%. 100% will not there the value will not be 100% true. So this, the difference of this estimate and the parameter or statistics of the parameter is known as sampling error. Okay, this is known as sampling error. So the errors involved in the collection, processing, and the analysis of data may be classified in two errors: sampling error and non-sampling error. And the sampling error have their origin in sampling and arise due to the fact that only a part of, actually we are taking only a part of the sample, isn't it? So we are taking only a part of the population, only a part of the population, that is sample, and it has been used to estimate population parameter, and we have to draw the inference about the population. So that's why with this small sample we are telling about the 100 population size. So there will be definitely some difference in the value, and that difference is known as sampling error. Okay, and this sampling error is absent in complete enumeration. And what is complete enumeration? What is complete enumeration?
Census.
Recording each and every actually.
Yes, census. So that will be, we will study each and every individual of the population. That is complete enumeration. So sampling error is absent in complete enumeration. So this is and if we consider it, if we relate it to with our sample size, so if sample size will increase, our sampling error will decrease. So I can say that sampling error is inversely proportional to our sample size n. Okay, this sample size. So if I make a graph n and error, sampling error, so this will be like this. Okay, whenever the size increase, this sampling error will decrease likewise. And if sample size n is increased, then we can say our non-sampling error will increase. Non-sampling errors will increase. And now what is non-sampling error? What is non-sampling error? The errors at the time of collection of the data, tabulation of the data, analysis of the data. Likewise, suppose I am doing a survey and I have made some mistake during the data collection. So this type of error is known as non-sampling error. So this will arise at the stage of field survey. We can say that stages of observation of the data, processing of the data, collection of the data, so it can be occur at every stage or any stage of the planning and execution of the survey. Planning and execution of census or survey. Okay, so this is our sampling and non-sampling error, and non-sampling error are present in both the methods. Both the methods are census and sampling techniques or sampling methods. Okay, so this is all about sampling and non-sampling error. So basic terminology like population, sample, I am not going to tell you, you know very well. So how many types of population are there? There are 4 types of population. One is infinite population. Like for example, number of stars in the sky. Second one is finite population. This is, for example, we can count them. We can count them easily. For example, number of students in a class. And what is real population? Real population that exists in real. So we can say, if I take the example that number of star in the number of stars, it is really exist, but it is infinite. And number of students, it is really exist, but it is finite population. Okay. Now hypothetical population. What is this? This is don't exist in real, doesn't exist in real. Any example? Tell me if you know any example of hypothetical population. Tossing a coin. Suppose if we are, so we will generate this population. For example, I have a coin and I have tossed it 20 times. So I will get the outcome like head, tail, head, tail, head. Likewise, 20 times I will get this. So this is what? This is a population of outcomes of the coin tossing 20 times. So this is hypothetical population. So this will not exist in real. So there are 4 types of population. Now there is one important sequence is there. What is a sequence? Okay, that I will cover later. Now what is a sample space? Sample space, we know that is the collection of all possible sample. This is represented by omega, and this is the collection of all possible samples. Okay, so suppose n is equal, capital N is equal to 4 and small n is equal to 2. Now if we consider with replacement case and if we consider without replacement case, how many numbers, how many total collection of possible samples will be there? In case of with replacement, it is n to the power n, that is 4 to the power 2, and it is 16. Okay, direct question. And in without replacement case, it will be ncn. So this will be 4c2. So how many it will be? 6. 6 samples will be there, isn't it? 4 factorial, 2 factorial, 2 factorial, 4 into 3. So this will be cancelled out. So 6 samples will be there. So I can make this like, if we consider with replacement, so all possible cases. So it is easy to create 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. Like 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4. So these are the all possible 16 samples. Okay. If we consider only without replacement, so this without replacement will be this 6 sample. So this is known as the sample space. Okay, now we will, there is sequence and sets are there. Sometimes they can ask in the exam what is sequence and what is set. Suppose I have taken n is equal to 5 and my population units are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and small n is 3. Suppose a sample is drawn by 3 draws and with replacement. 3 draws and that is with the replacement. Such that any draw, at any draw each unit has an equal chance of being selected. So that is with the replacement case, that at each draw any of the unit can be selected in the sample. So let I get 2, 5, 2. Actually this is with replacement, so the units may repeat. Okay, first of all, I think all of you know that with the replacement and without replacement. Should I tell you that what is with the replacement or without replacement? Anyone? Is there any doubt in with replacement and without replacement? Rakesh? Okay. I think there will be no need of this explanation of with replacement and without. So if I get this sample 2, 5, 2, okay. So this is known as sequence of the units selected at 3 rows. So this is what sequence. Sequence of units selected at 3 draws. So at first draw, that 2 unit is selected. So suppose this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have selected, I have at first draw I get 2. I note it down and get back to the population, that is with replacement. Okay. So again, and at second draw I get 5. and third row I get 2. So this is sequence of the units. Therefore, in with replacement sampling, a sample may be expressed as the sequence like sequence S is equal to I1, I2, likewise IN. And the range of, if I write IT in between somewhere, so like it will be 1 to N. So N is the number of draws. IT is the result of T's drawn. Should I write it? N is number of draws. T is what? Result of Tth draw. Result at Tth draw. And IT is, it is not necessarily unequal to. So this IT, if I write IT T prime, okay, so it is not necessarily equal, this IT prime and IT is not necessarily unequal to IT prime, because T is equal to, T will not equal to T prime, and I is equal to 1 to N, since a unit may be repeat more than one time. Okay, so the sequence S contains information. So sequence S, the sequence S contains information about the order of selection and repetition of unit in the sample. Okay, so what is a sequence? Sequence will tell us about the order, at which means, order means at first row which unit has been selected as a sample, at second row which unit has been selected, at third row. Is there any repetition? Yes, there is a repetition. So that T and T prime will can be equals and cannot be equals. So this T and T prime is what we are for the repetition. Okay, so just remember this sequence is there, and this will tell us about the order and selection, order of the selection and repetition of the unit. Okay, now we will see second is now sample drawn without replacement. So let n is equal to 5 and small n is equal to 3, same example, and s is equal to 2, 5, 3. These are distinct because we are considering without replacement case. Okay, so therefore in without replacement sampling, a sample may be written as a sequence. Sample may be written as a sequence I1, I2, likewise IN, and same. And IT will not equals to IT prime, because we will get unique sample. So all the selected unit are necessarily distinct here. All the selected units are necessarily distinct here. So now second thing is set. One is sequence, another one is set. So we can denote the sample as a set, small s, rather than the sequence. While denoting a sample as set, we are only interested in the collection of units. So here we are only interested in collection of units selected in the sample. Here we will ignore the information of order. We will ignore the information of ordering or order. Okay. So for example, suppose I will take the with replacement case, that this is my sequence 2, 5, 2. So this is sequence and my set will be 2, 5, or I can write 5, 2, because I am not considering here order. I am just taking that 2 and 5 are my sample, and there is no information of repetition. See in the set, there is no information of the repetition, that we don't know about the repetition, that which unit is repeating how many times. But in sequence, there are all selected unit with the repetition and with the sequence. So for sequence 2, 5, 3. So our set will be small s is, we will write in either descending order or either ascending order. So this is my set. Okay. So we can say that in case of without replacement, set is equals to sequence. See 253 and 235 532 will equivalent to the sequence. Set will equivalent to the sequence. But in with replacement case, set will not equivalent to the sequence because there may be repetitions. So in set, so we can say that set represent effective sample size. Set represent effective sample size rather than nominal size. So sequence will represent nominal sample size. Set will represent effective sample size and sequence will represent nominal sample size. So if represent this small n and this effective size is V, so in with replacement case, this V can be less than equals to n, because suppose this is if I write in with replacement, so our nominal sample size is n is equal to 3, but my effective sample size is 2 because there is repetition. If I consider this example 252, so this is my nominal sample size and this is effective sample size. Okay, so this is the concept of set and sequence, and we can say that in without replacement, our effective sample size will be equals to nominal sample size. Okay, got it? Got it? The concept of sequence and sets.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now just tell me, if I write capital N is equal to 4, small n is equal to 2, then how many sequences will be there? How many sequences will be there? Tell me, how many sequences? Same, if we consider with replacement, so there will be 16 sequences. If we consider with the replacement, so all 16 sample will be the sequence. So this in with replacement, that will be 16 sequences. And in without replacement, there will be 16 sequences and 6 sets, because they are unique sample, or we can say they are effective sample size. Okay, so 16 sequences and 16 sets, 6 sets. Okay, now so this is all about the sequence and sets. Now there is one probability law of selecting the sample. So first one is probability of the sample should be, or PS. If we consider sequence or set or sequence, it should be greater than equals to 0, and the range of probability is 0 to 1. So first one is this, and second one is the range of probability is 0 to 1. Third, if I write that summation of this probability belongs to omega, our sample space PS, that should be equals to 1, sum of all probability. So this is our, just like if you remember the axiomatic probabilities. So there is axiomatic, I think Tanush sir have been taken this axiomatic approaches of the probabilities. So there are just, this is greater than 0, the range is 0 to 1, and the sum of probabilities is 1. Okay. Now there is one term, another term, that is sampling design. सैम्पलिंग डिजाइन, किसी को पता है व्हाट इज सैम्पलिंग डिजाइन? व्हाट इज सैम्पलिंग डिजाइन, किसी को पता है?
It is combination of sample space and probability.
Exactly. So if we take this capital N is equal to 5, small n is equal to 3, so I will get how many combination, how many sequences? If I consider without replacement case, so how many sequences will be there? NCN means if I get the sample, that will be 10 samples, like 1 2 3, 1 2 4, 1 2 5, then 2 3 4, 2 3 5, then 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5 6 only I made. And what else? 1 2 3, 1 2 4, 1 2 5. Sorry, the combination of 1 will be like 1 3 5 also, 1 4 1 3 4. Just a minute. 1 3 4, 1 3 5, 1 4 5. I forget to add this. Then 2 3 4, 2 3 5, 2 4 5, and lastly 3 4 5. So these are 10 all possible sample space. So this is sample space individual. If I say that this is my total sample space and its corresponding probability, so this setup is known as sampling design. Okay, this all setup is known as sampling design. So I can say the combination of sample space omega and the associated probability is known as sampling design. Okay, so we can say this is a set of, I can say that this is omega and corresponding probabilities. Okay, so this is a set means we can say that the omega and the probability of corresponding sample, that is known as sampling design. Now, what is sampling scheme? What is sampling scheme?
Sampling design and estimator.
Sampling design and estimator. That is sampling scheme or something else. Manju, are you there?
Yes, sir. I
Hmm.
think it is sampling strategy.
That is sampling strategy. What is sampling scheme? Actually, sampling scheme is will give the conditional probability. This will give conditional probability of selection of units at different rows. Like what? Like what? Suppose there are. I am taking. I have to take 5 samples. So I have to make 5 draws. Okay. I have to take means if I take number of samples and I have to collect 5 samples. So I have to make 5 draws. Okay. So the conditional probability, like probability that particular unit gets selected at, suppose this is my first draw. Okay, so this will be the probability of first draw. Probability of first draw. For example, I am just taking now second one, the probability that second unit is selected, but the condition is given at this is not selected at first draw. Probability that second unit will get selected from the population at, and it is given, this is given condition in probability, conditional probability has been taken by Tanush sir. So you have you remember this concept of conditional, that suppose this conditional is given, condition is given that it is not selected at the first draw. So this is given by sampling scheme. Okay, so this conditional probabilities of selection of the units at different draw, the condition will be like it is not selected at first draw, it is not selected at the second draw, likewise. Okay, so it is specify the values. If I denote it mathematically, so if that is s and I1 I2 like units are there in, so I can write probability of 1 I1, probability of 2 I2 given I1. So I probability of I2 means to second unit, it is not, or it is, the condition is it is selected in the first row and it is not selected in likewise. Okay, so likewise we can make this. So for a given sampling design, there exists at least one sampling scheme. So therefore, for each sampling design, what is sampling design? That is the combination of sample space and probability. So for each sampling design, there will exist at least one sampling scheme. Okay, whenever when these things are important, whenever we go for the survey, when we actually do the survey, then we have to notice all these things like sampling design, sampling strategy, sampling scheme is there likewise. Okay, so this is all about your sampling scheme. Now next is estimator. You know very well. I don't have to tell you. Estimator you know very well. Bias you know very well. What is a bias? Tell me. What is the relation? What is the relation between MSE, variance and bias? बताओ. Who will tell? Babulal.
Hello.
MSE is equal to variance plus bias square.
MSE is equal to
Variance plus
variance plus
bias
bias.
square.
Okay. Now just tell me what is the difference in MSE and variance? Difference. बाबूलाल कुछ बोल रहे थे तुम बीच में अभी बोलो. What is the difference in MSE when we will go for MSE and when we will go for variance? Gaurav, Rakesh, Sunil. Who is this Homun? Homun तुम्हारा नाम क्या है? हेलो, पता है किसी को या नहीं?
Sir, when there is the unbiased estimator, we will go for variance. Sir. When there is a bias exist, we will go for MSE.
Exactly. Suppose, and to check the biasness, we will see that the estimated value of sample mean is not equal to the population mean. Then suppose for unbiased estimator, suppose sample mean is my unbiased estimator of population mean. It means our expected value of sample mean is equals to the population mean. But when it is not possible, so then we will get biased estimator. Bias estimator. So bias for bias type of estimator, we will calculate this MSE. Okay, and for unbiased estimator, we usually count variance. So that is the difference in MSE and variance. So in if you remember the ratio and regression estimator, ratio and regression estimators. So these are the bias estimator of the population mean and variance likewise. So in ratio and regression estimator, we usually calculate MSE. We will not calculate variance, but in SRS, WOR, simple random sampling with replacement, without replacement, we usually denote it variance of Y bar, isn't it? So that's why this MSE is used for biased estimator and variance is used for unbiased estimator. Okay, got it? Okay, now just tell me what is the positive square root of positive square root of variance? What is positive square root of variance?
Standard error.
Standard error. And what is positive square root of MSE? What is this? That is nothing but simple root mean square error. Okay, so this is RMSE. So remember these terms. So positive square root of variance is known as standard error, and positive square root of MSE is known as root mean square error. You know very well coefficient of variation. There is no need to tell. What is non-sampling bias? There is one other terminology, non-sampling bias. What is non-sampling bias? So it is a average of non-sampling errors over all possible samples. It is known as non-sampling bias. So average of non-sampling errors over all possible samples. Okay, so that is known as non-sampling bias. And there is one other term, non-sampling variance. So this is the variance of non-sampling error is known as simply the variance of non-sampling errors over all possible samples. Is known as non-sampling variance. Okay. Now I was discussing the sampling strategy. Strategy. So Gaurav, you were telling that what is this is a combination of sampling design
and estimator.
And estimator. Or I can say it is a triplet. So I can say this is design and estimator. Okay. Or what is our design? This is omega, probability of S, and estimator. So I can say this is a triplet of sampling strategy is triplet of sample space, probability, and estimator. Okay, sample space, probability. So कैसे टेबल बनेगी इसकी? ओमेगा, if I write omega, probability of S and estimator. कैसा होगा? जैसे सपोज 1 2 3 and its corresponding probability होगी सपोज 0.2 and इसका estimator I can take y bar. This is its mean. 1 2 3 का mean जो estimator हम consider करें. Likewise, this table is known as sampling strategy. Okay. So this terminology are used in our basic survey. We will calculate like all these type of terminologies. Okay. So for objective point of view, they can ask like what is the combination of sampling design and estimator? What is a sampling strategy? It is a combination. It is a triplet likewise. Okay. Now, what is this information? Information provided by an estimator. Estimator. I told you in statistical genetics also. What is information there? Suppose I write I theta. What is that?
Reciprocal.
Reciprocal of
Reciprocal of variance of theta, if it is unbiased estimator. Okay, and I theta is equal to 1 upon MSE of theta if it is biased estimator. So if I want to compare the two estimator, you can calculate the efficiency of the estimators, like taking the ratio of the variances. Okay. So suppose there are two estimators, E1 and E2. Two estimators are there. So I want to find the efficiency of estimator 1. So that will be variance of E1. I write capital variance estimate E1 and E2. Okay, estimator 1 and estimator 2. So efficiency of estimator 1 will be variance of estimator 1 and variance of estimator 2. So this is the ratio of this. Now if I consider cost also, so there will be cost in the surveys. So if I consider the cost of estimator 1 and cost of estimator 2, to collect these estimated, these samples, there will be cost. So on the basis of this cost involved in the survey, we can calculate the cost efficiency also. So I am writing EC on the basis of cost also. E1, I want to calculate the cost efficiency of estimator 1. So this will be variance of E1, variance of E2, isn't it? And here cost of E1 and cost of E2, same. So we will write whichever we want to calculate on the denominator side. So I can say that information, this is the ratio of information supplied by E1 per unit cost divided by information supplied by information supplied by E2 estimator per unit cost. Okay, so information for E1 is what? If I write IE1, this is my information, and per unit I will write cost E1. Don't get confused of E1 is, I am writing information supplied by E1 on numerator. Okay, so this is information supplied by E1 divided by cost per unit. So if I write the information formula, so this will be variance of E1 into cost of E1, isn't it? So that's why this both values are on the denominator. Okay, got it? Got it or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now there is one interpenetrating subsampling. So I am telling just terminology and what is the meaning of this if there is theoretical question. So can anyone tell me what is interpenetrating subsampling? Okay, I just tell you the concept. So this is population. Okay, and I am taking the sample from the population in groups, in some groups. This is my first sample group, this is second, this is third, This is fourth. Likewise, I am taking k sample groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. Likewise, k sample groups are there from the population. Difference is this is 1000 unit and I am taking the sample into groups. Like this is suppose I have to take 100 sample. From 1000 I have to take 100 sample and I have made 5 groups like 10, 20, 50. How much it is? 50, 20, 70, 80, 15, 95 and 5. So these 5 groups are there. Okay, from our population. Okay, so this is subsamples. Now if I get if I take this all samples from same sampling strategy, same sampling process, same sampling approach, just like if I take SRSWOR, simple random sampling without replacement. If I take this sample from same sampling strategy, all the 5 groups has been selected by the same sampling process, then it is known as interpenetrating subsamples or subsampling, and this all the samples will give valid estimate of population parameter. What is his meaning? Suppose I'll take its mean y1 var. So this will give valid estimate of our population mean, capital Y bar. I will take y2 bar. It will also give the valid estimate of the population mean likewise. Okay. So this is known as interpenetrating subsampling, and this whole network is known as interpenetrating subsampling. This whole network, that there is population and we are collecting the samples into groups, and this is known as interpenetrating subsampling. Okay, so this is one other terminology. Now we will move to the first sampling method, that is simple random sampling. Simple random sampling, and I'll take only important points only. Just so it is a technique of drawing. You know very well what is simple random sampling. So it is a technique of drawing a sample in such a way that suppose these are 5 units in the sample in the population 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, capital N. So it is a technique of drawing a sample. So simple random sampling is a technique of drawing a sample in such a way that unit in the population, these are the unit in the population, all these units have the same chance. All these units have the same chance or we can say equal and independent chance of being selected in the sample. So if I calculate the probability, so there will be probability of 1 by 5. So first unit has the same probability 1 by 5, second unit will have the same probability of getting selected. So I can say, if I tell that ये जो 5 यूनिट है इनमें से कोई भी सैंपल्स में आ सकती है, that is with the same probability, that is 1 by 5. So all the units in the population have same chance, equal chance and independent chance of being included in the sample. So this is the simplest form of the random sampling. From a list of n identifiable units are drawn one by one, with replacement or without replacement. Now there will be two cases. That unit may be selected with replacement and without replacement. Okay, so with replacement and without replacement. So simple random sampling is used when, in which situation, condition, when we do not know anything about the population. About population, like how much variability is there in the population, like variation among units, and units are homogeneous or heterogeneous. So if we don't know anything about the population, we will go for simple random sampling. Just like in design of experiment, when we go for CRD, whenever we know that there is condition that our our experimental material should be homogeneous, then and then only we will go for the CRD. That, like for example like lab experiment, test tube experiment, pot experiment, because there is we consider homogeneous in the sample, in the design that is experimental material. Homogeneity should be there. Just like if we go for a randomized block design, so there should be fertility gradient should be vary in the one direction, so change in the one direction. So then, and this randomized block design is used in field experiment. Likewise, if we move for the, if fertility is gradient is variation is in two direction, then we will go for Latin square. So just like here, if we do not know anything about the population, that which type of population is there any homogeneity in the population, is there any heterogeneity in the population, then in such case we will go for the simple random sampling. So this is the basic most strategy of drawing a sample. Okay, so with replacement and without replacement, if we now we will consider simple random sampling with replacement. So definition is, a sample is said to be selected by simple random sampling with replacement by n draws from a population of size n. Okay, if the sample is drawn by observing following rules. So rules are what? First, at each draw, each unit in the population has the same chance of being selected. So this is first rule. Second rule is that what is the condition of with replacement, that we will select and we will replace back. Okay, we will select the unit and we will replace it back. Okay, just like if I make some different example, like these are, let me make some example. Okay, so in this urn, there are different colors balls are there. So now suppose I am drawing these balls with replacement. So I will make in first draw, suppose my red ball has been selected. red ball has been selected. Okay, so this is selected. Now I will note it down that first draw is red, and I will replace it back to the population. I will replace it back to the population. So this is the basic means with the replacement condition. Okay. Now in next second, suppose in second draw I will get green. In second draw I will get green. So I will note it down here that green ball is been selected, and I will replace it back to the population. So here units may get repeat. Again, if I selected third row, if I get red, so I will again make the mark red. So likewise, this is the with replacement. So we can say that a unit selected at a draw is returned back to the population. Before next draw. Okay, so this is the rules of getting simple random sampling with replacement. So for simple random sampling, Pi is equal to 1 by n, that is selection probability, and this is for all I is equal to 1 to n. So see, this is denoted for all, and this symbol I 1 to n. So I can replace it with one, means this is the just 1 to n. So I can write 1 to n to like this, 1 into the bracket 1 and n. So this is also a symbol of 1 to n. Okay, so Pi is equal to 1 by n. This is the selection probability. Okay, and sample space under SWR is what? N to the power n. Okay, possible samples of selecting a sample. Now just tell me, this is our 1 by n is the selection probability of one unit at one draw. Okay, any of the draw. So this, if I want to select the sample of size small n, so I will get the selection probability for all the samples. It will be 1 upon n into 1 upon n, likewise into 1 upon n. So this will be 1 upon n to the power n. So directly you can write, because this is our total probability sample space. This is our total samples n to the power n, that is sample space. So 1 upon n to the power n will be the selection probability of all the samples and all the n samples. Okay, this is for individual draw 1 by n, and this is for all the samples of size n. Okay, for example, if I write capital N is equal to 4 and small n is equal to 2, so all possible samples will be 16. So n to the power n, that is 4 to the power 2, that will be 16 samples. So I can write Ps is equal to 1 upon n to the power n, that will be 1 by 16. And what is the selection probability of individual unit? That will be 1 by 4. Okay, so if I write 1 by 4 into 1 by 4 into how many times? 2 times, because our sample is only 2. So this will be 1 by 16. Okay, got it? Don't get confused in these two, 1 upon n and 1 upon n to the power n. Next, now just tell me, what is inclusion probability? Anyone? What is inclusion probability? बताओ। गौरव, और कौन बता सकता है? कुमार सी, हु इज दिस कुमार सी? मंजू वाला probability, कुमार सी, टेल मी। हाँ, टेल मी व्हाट इज इंक्लूजन प्रोबेबिलिटी?
Probability that selected row will be replaced back to the sample space.
Replace back? No. Manju?
This is the probability of including in the sample.
What is the difference?
That is, yeah,
What is the difference between?
that is n by
Okay.
n, small n by capital N.
Then what is the difference between inclusion probability and selection probability?
Inclusion probability is sum of all the units selected, individual units selected, and it is a product of selected probability.
Okay.
1 by n plus 1 by n, like that.
Okay. Actually, what we are doing here, suppose this is capital N 5 and small n is 3. So in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units, I will select 3 units only. So see here, so all the units is having 1 by n probability here of selection probability. So this is 1 by 5, 1 by 5, like 1 by 5. So if I write units and its corresponding probability, that is selection probability. So unit is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and my selection probability is 1 upon 5, 1 by 5, 1 by 5, 1 by 5, 1 upon 5. Okay. Now suppose these 3 units has been selected, or these 2 units has been selected in the sample. So this is included in the sample. These are included in the sample. So here the probability will be 1 by 5 plus 1 by 5. So this will be 2 by 5, or I can write it in small n by capital N. Okay, got it?
Yes, sir.
So this is small n by capital N, but this condition is for SRS WOR. This small n by capital N is for SRS WOR, but in case of SRS WR, it is different. And just tell me, what is the meaning of first order inclusion probability and second order? Probability and second order inclusion probability. Who will tell? Who will tell this? Bolo. Suppose, okay, I'll tell. So suppose I am selecting single unit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now if I am calculating individual inclusion probability. Suppose this included in the sample one by one. So for ith unit only, okay, for single unit only. So that will be our first order inclusion probability. Now for second order inclusion probability, if I take pair of I and j, two units together, so that will be known as second order inclusion probability. Okay, got it? If I am considering only individual inclusion probability for a single sample, then it is known as first order, and for pair of the unit, ith unit and jth unit will be included in the sample. So that will be second order inclusion probability. Now I will tell you the formulas of this inclusion probabilities in case of with replacement sampling. So we'll write first order inclusion probability in case of SRS WR. So that it is represented by pi I is equal to 1 minus 1 upon n to the power small n. Okay, so this will be 1 minus 1 upon to the power n. That will be, just a minute, let me calculate. Okay, so this will be the first order inclusion probability in case of simple random sampling with replacement. Just like if I write the formula for second order inclusion probability, there is a proof of this. I am not going for that proof. Okay, just we have to cover the syllabus of sampling in brief. Second order inclusion probability in case of SRSWR. So that will be pi ij is equal to 1 minus twice 1 minus 1 upon n to the power n plus 1 minus 2yn to the power n. So just remember this, that first order inclusion probability and second order inclusion probability in case of with replacement. That is 1 minus 1 upon n to the power n and 1 minus twice 1 minus n to the power n plus 1 minus twice 2yn to the power n. This is first order and second order inclusion probabilities. 1 to n. Okay. Now we will move to the theorems. Theorem 1, that is in case of SRSWR, and into the bracket I can write population size and small size. So just like distribution, just like you write now that X follows binomial distribution with parameter and P, like I can write SRSWR n comma n. So sample mean is unbiased estimator of population mean is unbiased estimator of population mean, capital Y bar. So I can represent it as expected value of Y bar is capital Y bar. Okay. So I think I need not to prove this. Everyone knows how to prove this. Gaurav, should I tell this or not? Manju Bala, Babulal?
No, sir.
Okay, good.
No, sir.
Like second theorem is, just we have to go in brief. Second theorem is theorem 2. That is the sampling variance of sample mean. Variance of sample mean is given by, what is the sampling variance of sample mean in case of SRSWR?
Sigma square by n.
Sigma square by n. So I can represent it variance of y bar in case of with replacement is equal to sigma square by n. Okay, so one important point I will tell you here, that the covariance of yi yj is what it
0.
will be? 0. Why?
0. Independent.
0.
Because our draws are independent, because we have replaced the unit back into the population. That's why this covariance is 0, because ith and jth drawings are independent. Okay, so we can write this expected value of yi yj. When we go to the proof, it will be expected value of yi into expected value of yj. So that's why this covariance becomes 0. Okay, now if I want to calculate the variance, sampling variance for population total, it will be, who will tell? It will be variance of n into y bar hat. So this will be n square and variance of y bar hat. Okay, so n square into sigma square by n. So this will be the variance of population total. Okay, got it? Now theorem 3, theorem 3. That unbiased estimator for the sampling variance of the sample mean in case of SRSWR is given by sigma square by n. So what we can say, that expected value of small s square is equal to sigma square. What is this small s square? Small s square is equal to 1 upon n minus 1 summation I is equal to 1 to n yi minus y bar square. That is sample mean square. Okay, so this is, will not prove this. Standard error of y bar, it will be positive square root of variance of y bar. So variance of y bar is under root sigma square by n, so it will be sigma y under root n. Okay, so this is standard error of sample mean. Okay, any doubt in this? So with this we have completed our simple random sampling with replacement. Conceptually, or we can say that important points regarding SRSWR. Okay, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, so today I am stopping here. We will continue tomorrow, and on Monday I also take class and I will complete your sampling till Monday. Okay, by anyhow we will complete sampling till Monday. So Tanush sir, are you there? No, Tanush sir is not there. So we will complete and I will take class on Monday also. Okay. Okay then.
Thank you, sir.